slow down the party, but just to kind of get things moving along. So as I said earlier, you've already heard, my name is John Kusha. I am the father of the bride. But this is the last time that I will be the father of the bride. Just kidding.
Why do you keep going now, John? It never ends.
Just kidding.
You said that about the other ones.
Yeah, so you know, Mary and I have done this 2 times before with our daughter Chris and Emily and Bill. But ordinarily, you have maybe a year or so's time to prepare and give some thought to a performance like this. In my case, you can see what this looks like. It's not typed, and was created pretty much sitting in the back seat of a van with Simon and Garfunkel playing music-wise, and the movie The Hangover.
You said that John was watching. I was watching.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, you kind of get a sense of what this is all about. I do want to say, you know, ordinarily it would be the mother and father of the bride who would be putting all the details together, but instead it's really, you know, Mary, Joan, and Pat, Ellen and Todd, Minister Mike, and whatever the minister's wife should be called, Abby, though.
Abby, the minister's wife. Abby, the minister's
wife. Jesuit, you know, they take the vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience.
I've already broken 3 of those.
Already. On a bad day, we take those vows, you know. Yeah. So this past week, just during this past week, I heard 2 very prophetic statements from 2 pretty important people. One was really Mary Kusha. We were sitting in the kitchen, kind of getting ready for dinner and everything, and she said, "Isn't it nice when you see some couples who just obviously are meant to be together?" And so I heard that, thought that, and then last night, you know, there's been a lot of news about Steve Jobs and his passing and the like, and so I think this was in a speech that he gave where he said, "Don't settle, keep looking." And so I kind of thought about, you know, the meant to be together, which is kind of fate, and the don't settle, keep looking as kind of a confluence of you know, decisions we make. And I thought about Ellen and Todd and their story, and began to think, you know, this could be a movie. You know? So, I mean, come with me, you know. So you know, there's this young woman, Ellen, who leaves home to go to college, where all of her siblings really went to Xavier University in Cincinnati, but instead she leaves and goes to Chicago. And she meets many people. But there's one special kind of an intriguing guy. His name is Todd. You know, she's attracted to him, he's attracted to her. They have a few dates. But then Ellen, who is really a kind of a woman of the globe, a global citizen, you know, says, I'm going to take a semester and go to Italy. So Ellen heads off to Italy and has a great experience, but she returns and Todd is graduated. And then Todd, you know, heads off to California. And so Ellen is, you know, back in Chicago, and she graduates, and then she decides to go to Japan. And so for 6 years, she lives in Japan, alone on top of a small mountain, in a city, a little city, a Japanese city named Sakiko. And Todd goes on with his life. And then one Christmas, Ellen is in Thailand, and she's in the ocean, and there is a tsunami. And Ellen survives, and she's rescued off an island. And it shakes the earth, and it shakes Ellen, but more importantly, it shakes Todd. who calls her, the first person who calls her, to find out, Ellen, are you okay? Well, Ellen's heart feels a little cringe. Time passes. And Ellen decides some particular day to send an email in Japanese, in all Japanese to Todd. And Todd, not knowing or reading a word of Japanese, responds as if he understands it all. Which really is pretty much the ultimate flirtatious move on Ellen's part and a great pickup move on Todd's part. So things heat up. Things heat up. Ellen begins to visit America, as she calls it, a little more frequently. But instead of coming to Cincinnati, all of her travels are through Chicago, and sometimes, we're sort of a stop by, and then it's back through Chicago, and we're trying to figure, what is that all about? Well, Ellen returns finally from Japan, and decides, after she's thinking maybe it'd be the East Coast, maybe it would be the West Coast, she decides to live in Japan. So then we have these emails. Oh, I'm sorry, in Chicago. Thanks, Mayor. So then, our story continues quickly through, though, with just snippets of social media and what keeps everybody together. So here we are, August of 2010, and just, it's a long email, but the sentence is, it's been fun and interesting going around with Todd. And I think seeing so much of the American land right when I've just come back has been really good. So here's September 9th, 2010. Hi, Mom and Dad. How was the long weekend? Mine was really good. One highlight, I got to meet Todd's parents over the weekend on Sunday. I went to his house and saw the house he grew up in. Todd's mom, Mary Mazzo, likes to garden and has a beautiful garden in the back of the house. She also has a cute short haircut and is perky and lively.
Woo!
I've been looking for her. I can't find her.
She needs a copy.
I need her.
Maybe we can say all great marriages think and act alike. Todd's dad has a cool office, Hermitage, in the back of the house, and seems to be a great thinker with a heart of gold. Wait, that sounds like my... They have lived in their home for 35 years, once full of kids, and now down to 2 of them and their dog. October 8th, 2010. Long email, but the meat of the heart matter here is, in general, I'm really good. So happy living in Chicago and spending time with Todd. He's a catch. And so good to me and makes me happy every day. On top of that, I never had that awkward adjustment to living back in America. It's all been really smooth and good. And oh, by the way, I've been cooking kind of a lot, which is always good. Cooking? What the hell? Chicken divan, spinach, rice, casserole, lasagna, almond cake, Baker's Square brownies.
It's a killer almond.
Karen Fast.
November 8th, 2010. Also a big thank you for a wonderful time in Cincinnati. We had a wonderful time and hope you did too. I thought all the news might be a little overwhelming for everybody. We get married. But your reactions of hugs and smiles and high fives and handshakes were just perfect, and a great way to make Todd feel welcome to the family, and us to feel excited and confident in our decisions in the future. Now that Kendall Avenue couches are complete, I told Todd that since he is the final addition, he is the cherry on top of our big ice cream system.
Marty's not rude.
Really? November 14th, 2010. We're almost done. How do you like the movie so far? It's been busy week for me, but I wanted to finally thank you and Mary. Well, this is from Todd. This is from Todd. It's been a busy week for me, but I wanted to thank you and Mary for making me feel so welcome. I had a great time visiting, sharing the news, and meeting your family. Everyone is so easygoing, caring, and lovely. It makes perfect sense why Ellen is so amazing. Your advice to exhale and enjoy this special time has skyrocketed to the top of my most used advice list. It remains at the forefront of my thoughts every day. With so much on our plate, this advice is important. I remind myself to breathe, to do one thing at a time, embrace the challenges, and enjoy the present, and with Ellen, life is good.
All right.
November 15th, to Todd from me. Yo, Todd. What a nice email. You and Ellen are a treat to see. Your love and care for each other is so apparent and fun to watch. When Ellen told us about a guy named Todd, who was the first person to call her after the tsunami, I thought, who is that guy? And now we know, a relationship that was long in the making, but meant to happen. And isn't that just amazing, the way things worked out? All good, and you guys are just getting started. Over and out. Thanks again for writing. July 1st, 2011. Hi, Dad. Good morning. It's July 1st. It's our birthday. And waking up to Todd and Aiden around me, it's already the best birthday ever. So, just a little bit. So the final, really the final scene was written this afternoon at Morten's Arboretum. Just the Mazza and the Kusher family. Bride Ellen in an elegant cream gown. Groom Todd in a stylish, handsome black suit.
Oh, I like that.
Baby Aiden in a snappy diaper. Yeah, Todd and Ellen Mazza surrounded by family and nature. As the camera pulls back and you see us all there, it's obvious that the future is filled with good things and just much opportunity. And so let me close. There's got to be a little Japanese in here, so interpret this. Itsumo Ellen ga Osei wa ni natte imasu.
Translation. Thank you for always being so kind and loving.
So all of you Chicago people.
Oh, you're not Japanese.
Koko regar, arigatou gozaimasu.
From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much.
And sore de wa
Let's raise our glasses.
kanpai.
Kanpai!
That was great.
Now, more drinks.
Did you hear anything?
I just did.
Did you hear it? Mary Jo, she called you Perky. Perky with the haircut. Oh my God. Ellen called you Perky. I'll get that please. So he's saving all these details. Yeah, he knew.
So they don't put lots of
I didn't know that.
how we met.
That was very, I know, but I knew it.
You did good. She's been around for